And after a prolonged break between the races for repair work, very well prepared ahead of time by the World Super Touring Championship organisers. This is race 2. It's reverse grid time. Gasho was P10, which means he's on pole, but we like it when it pans out like this. You'll see it in front of you, 7 different manufacturers in the top 7 places. Obviously, it didn't end like this, but Michael Swinnerton, we do like it when it looks like this, whatever the occasion.
Absolutely, it's a splash of colours everywhere.
And of course, Swinny's neutrality in the event is going to be put to the test if Ingram is, what meant to be third on the grid. But we can ignore the ladder for the time being behind Gasho on pole there. Thompson, your race winner, P10. Is he going to fall back, as is the natural run of things recently? The rear-wheel drive guys are going to be put to the test once again, being blocked by the fleet of front-wheel drive cars as Gasho leads. Lama second, Ingram back to 4th. Salo is up to 3rd, but Wittmann and Webber 6th and 7th. Vert now getting the power down, but the braking for the Quarry Bend will be put to the test again.
For a second then I was terrified they were going to go 3 wide.
Especially with one of your cars potentially in the wall there. Thankfully not. They're cutting. Oh, slide on from Verts there, but it's almost a slide on. It's going to be a traffic jam, no doubt. You can see it in the background there. Ingram down to 5th, 2 BMWs behind. Webber and Schneider. Verts nearly, in fact definitely losing 3rd place.
Not sure why Verts decided to tap on the brakes there and just let Ingram straight back past him again.
And Gasho has got Salo and Lammers right behind him.
No, Gasho was gone.
Gasho is gone. Gasho is definitely not in the same shot there, and it's only the first lap. Gasho's on an absolute flyer here, getting the grip in them tyres, why don't you? And Salo being much of a cork as was in race 1. Lammers is down to 3rd there. Ingram closing in on 3rd as the traffic jam clears the Forest Elbow for the first time this evening. Edwin Schneider in the BMW fleet in order. Thompson, good look at both the Alphas there, getting the power down, but closed by Fisichella. But are they going to get it around the outside? Nope, that was a bit of a love tap.
It's a bit of deja vu from race 1 all over again.
Love being the operative word.
Thompson now sandwiching himself in between the 2 Alfa Romeos.
The 2 BMWs side by side through the Murray's corner. Lap 1 almost complete from the top and full grid there. Let's ignore the fastest lap for now. It's only a standing lap. Might be a couple of laps before we see the absolute flyer in. 2 seconds faster than Gasho's current lap. That was off the line. Lama's up to 3rd.
Just holding station quite comfortably there. And Ingram just making sure there is a gap between him and Verts currently. Somehow Webber has found himself down behind a bunch of other cars there.
Thompson getting 8th place. Wittmann up to 7th. Suarez in 11th there. Brief glimpse then of the grey charcoal Volkswagen. But it's still early days for saying Gasho is no doubt clear of the field. That could be eroded if the tyres are going to behave like they have at other circuits, but this is a circuit like no other. We'll just have to wait and see. Schneider behind Verts. Verts being a bit of a blocker currently. That crocodile very likely to change in the next couple of laps as Wittmann wants to have a look as well, as does Thompson.
Yeah, we're back
as
to a bunch of
does
cars tripping over each other,
Webber.
trying to get past the slower car in front.
Oh, Alpha almost in the wall. Yeah, that was close. Webber's going to be wanting to get that position off of Wittmann. And well,
Never mind, here comes
playing
Fisichella.
good teammate. Italian horsepower right there.
Whoa, Whitman, that was a very late dive.
Brave, dangerous, but rewarded. 7th place, but is Fisichella gonna... Well, we just saw Thompson with a massive hit on the back of Wittmann's car there.
Meanwhile,
But still
Schneider
behind
was moving
Wittmann.
the Golf out the way.
More than just a putt to get past Arkov. Schneider up to 5th. Bit of a late penny drop there, Swinny, but we are in Australia. But put that down to jet lag. Palou 12th. ILO still in 13th. Been very quick so far, these McGanns.
Yeah, after his off-track excursion in race 1, Ayano did manage to rally back to 12th place. So he's just about holding station where he was.
Webber 10th,
currently.
just got it off of Suarez. Fisichella holding station as Thompson now tries to get that back down the inside of Fisichella, and does so.
So Thompson now in front of Wittmann. Can he try to attack the BMW Golf combo that is going on here? They keep swapping the position back and forth. Schneider took it at Murray's, and then Wirtz has taken it straight back again.
That's as close as you want it from Schneider. Braking area coming up, technical area coming up. Move may not be on unless something really stupid happens. Fairly sensible through the dipper. But is it going to be sensible coming into Forest Elbow?
I think Schneider's best bet here is to make sure she gets a good run out of the hairpin here, and then potentially send it, full-on send it into the chase and do an up the inside dive on that Volkswagen.
I think Thompson's trying to do that instead. We just saw glimpses of that. So Honda Power, Alpha Power playing a part in this as well. Are they going to be 3 wide into the chase? That's going to be brave.
Nearly.
2 wide at least. Thompson on the inside. We saw some definite bumping, not tapping. Between teammates, that was... Fisichella's going to get that advantage unless the message comes from Turin not to do more damage than he did earlier. But Fisichella...
No, he wants that
maybe,
position.
almost.
Fisichella has so far put together a very, very good, consistent year in points finishes, which is why he's doing so well in the championship. So you can understand why he would be... Oh, good bit of oversteer. Why he'd be so eager to get past his teammate, because out of the 2 Alfa Romeos, he is the championship threat here, not Wittmann.
Yeah, and closer threat to Thompson's position in the championship as well. Thompson's definitely in 2nd place after this round, no doubt, as would Fisichella. Schneider maybe, Lammers could have a say in this too, but anything further down than Wirtz in 6th in the championship, Wirtz being 5th on the road. Aiello with the fastest lap, but I don't think I was any quicker last time by, traffic in mind there.
Already broken the 220s, which it took them a while to do that in race 1, so they're definitely going quicker in this race.
Sun's out, a bit more, track temperature up a bit more.
Yeah, Aiello looks like he's kind of stuck behind Suarez at the moment.
Door being thoroughly closed there, but the S's are coming up different lines from these 2 cars, as in evidence right there. So
Aiello just slows down a lot for the dipper and loses out a lot of time. We've seen
single
both Renaults do that now.
Sensible to be single file to a degree, especially around this bit as well. Moves have been made, but you have to be earlier on the ball. No one was on the ball then. We just saw a glimpse of what was like. There we are. Lammers trying to get ahead of Salo, Well, in fact, Salo's gone ahead of Lammers. Salo is making up for lost ground in the early laps, but Lammers with the Honda power. Ingram making Mazda look good. Privateer team's looking good. In 4th place. Wirtz around the outside of Schneider.
Well, Schneider got it up the inside at the first part of the chase and is now having to defend, but Wirtz got a better run coming out the corner. Defends into Murray's, doesn't let Schneider get through there.
Yeah, too much of a bump to be trying to get down the inside of Murray's then. There goes Fisichella down the inside of Webber. And almost halfway there. The spread, that and the manifest. But not if Woods has any more power in his right foot.
Once again, they're all going to close up over the top of the mountain. How much tripping over each other are we going to see this time round? Ooh, well, the top 4 there are very, very close in this battle. Fisichella a little bit further back.
Tram tracks down the inside of the cut in, but through the parks we just saw Honda take a quick alternate line, but it wasn't a move for position. It wasn't going to be attacking in that regard. But this is where it could get interesting. Schneider close to Wirtz, but not close enough through the S's. Sensible to be single file through here, but there hasn't
stopped them before.
Smarter drivers making mistakes or putting the biggest move of the circuit's history through the dipper. The elbow is doable, but mistakes have been made. That Alpha is threatening to eat a bunch of tyre, if not full-on concrete wall at the Forest elbow.
Yeah, I wonder if she realises just how close the front of her car is to the wall there coming out of that corner.
So this is where it gets to halfway. This is where, if someone is going to be flat out in the early doors, have they eaten into their supply of Goodyears for the race? We soon will see if Gasho is going to lose that momentum.
Oh, Fisichella and Webber have been having an absolute pushing match. One shoved the other off at the chase, and now the other, and then they've just done a dive bomb on each other into Murray's. They're not careful. They're going to have Aiello in the Renault there just come herring past the both of them.
Having seen Aiello questionably get back on the track earlier, there was an emergency driver's briefing earlier. Words have been said, but have they been listened to, do you reckon?
Well, we'll wait for someone to throw it off the track and then we'll see.
Gasho, but in shot, despite the gap. Salo second. Lammers there third.
They've dropped Ingram
tracks
off
for both of them. Ingram,
he's doing everything he needs to do. This is perfect from him. Just running a quiet, clean, sensible race in clean air, not making any mistakes. That's exactly what the team needs.
And you wouldn't have to tell him that over the radio either. I think he knows what's up. Schneider still very close to Wirtz's shirt tails. Whitman though, and Thompson still in the same postcode, still in the same what 3 words as they head towards the single file through the dipper once more. Aiello still with the fastest lap there, enough of a gap to try and cement that even further, especially if Thompson's only nearly 2 whole seconds behind him on fastest lap, despite being ahead in the race. Here's your train from 5th on down.
All just being very sensible at the moment, just running line astern, says. Fan out for the braking zone into the chase.
No one with the
Oh,
wobble on
Whitman, I don't
just
know if that
yet.
was sensible.
Speaking of wobble on, that wasn't. That was just recovering from
Yeah, it was just too much
almost
curb
taking
unsettling the car.
Schneider off. Someone down the inside into Murray's. That looks like it's Fisichella's Alpha
Fisichella.
down the inside of Thompson.
Poor Honda's going
And
to get...
Webber
Oh, not quite. Nearly got freight trained.
almost capitalised on the lack of Thompson momentum. ILO not getting an even faster lap in, and I doubt anyone else is going to do that with 4 to go. There goes Lammers, there goes Ingram.
Ingram has caught these two up, interestingly enough.
Despite it being an earlier turn, that gap is, yeah, it is a little bit closer, but the gap to first, we just saw, that was definite offline, off on the curb then from Ingram.
Hasn't hurt him any. I think he's doing that as part of his racing line through the corner there.
The same suspension as Catalonia's curves, no doubt being very useful around here too. Alternate lines up the hill, up through the parks. Ingram doing everything he possibly could to distract Lammers whilst he's trying to distract Salo. The two rookies on the podium, but there's Ingram closing in.
Yeah, he's got momentum on the two cars in front, just in the wrong places on the track to do anything about it.
And yes, despite what I said earlier, 2 rookies, this is your 3rd rookie as well. Very good day for all 3 of them.
Yes, even if 3 cars have the little cross on the back of the... Ooh,
and there's a concrete wall. This is where we need to... We did say earlier, the neutrality in the commentary is being put to the test. If that's going to be back to the pits for Ingram, he has lost momentum. Lammers definitely hasn't though. There's a move down the inside, but not close enough. Bit of curb hopping, bit of a wobble on there, so Ingram's got that back. Sudden loss of power again. Down the inside for
Lammers
Murray.
had a really bad run out of the chase, and that's cost him a place. Although, it was a dive from Ingram. Lammers looks like he might get the crossover move going into turn 1. Depends on who's going to be more brave on the brakes here. That's actually going to stick it out around the outside. Oh, he's hanging tough. He's actually made it.
There we go. Has that Mazda got a bit more oomph in it, more power down it in recent races then?
We've changed the downforce setup on it. As I said, we trimmed it out a bit so it could well, we tried to maintain the balance of stability over the top of the mountain and having a decent amount of straight line speed. So you should see here, hopefully, if the car's working as intended, he should catch Salo quite handedly over the top of the mountain here. Whether Lammers can follow remains to be seen.
He did close in on Lammers through lack of momentum. Is Salo's naivety, much as Ingram's naivety, going to make the difference here over the mountain once more? 2.5 to go.
Ooh, see what I mean? Caught him right up.
And there
inside
we go.
at McPhillamy. Not wasting any time getting around the Ford.
But speaking of, we saw Gashow's gap earlier. That gap may be coming down as Schneider still can't get past Wirtz through the dipper once more. Neither can Wittmann, neither can Fisichella. Thompson in 9th. That's definitely a train. There's Webber in 10th. There's Ayalo not doing better than lap 2. Even despite space, despite the potential of slipstream.
Here they all go, tripping over each other again.
Speaking of slipstream, Thompson is not going to get that from the teammates of Fisichella in front. Wittmann, Fisichella shutting the door there quite boisterously.
Schneider having a look into the chase. Not quite close enough to really send it. Oh, Fisichella with a big wobble.
They all seem to hit the curb on the left-hander for the chase. Maris. There goes Ayalo.
Ayalo's
Finally
come to
springing
play.
into action.
Oh, guys, there's enough
that's
room
not
for both
clever.
of you.
That's damage, surely. Ingram. That's a whole second on Ayalo's fastest lap.
Blimey.
But is it so just under 2 to go? I think that's your fastest lap in the bag. You're going to get those 2 points, aren't you?
Well, here's hoping.
Schneider's done 6th. Wurtz has done a very good job of being the widest golf on the circuit. Ayalo getting progressively faster and faster throughout the weekend. It's just a shame he's had that big off in race 1 to still be fighting for a stronger points position than this. Webber has fallen back somewhat. Now, if Gasho...
We're on the outside there, that's going to be dangerous.
Lifted off. Ingram is gaining on Gasho. Now, we haven't got the Brands Hatch yet, but this is...
Ayalo sending it down the dipper and then loses
failed out of that.
That Renault just overcompensates with the slowing down of the corner. However, this train and all of its tripping over each other has now caught Salo and Lammers. So this train is about to get even more of a mess.
Yeah, this is where the tyres once again have hit their peak. Gasho still decent level of a gap on Ingram, but that gap is definitely down from the start. Gasho was just definitely gone early doors. Oh, wobble on almost from Wurtz. Well recovered, but still enough of a train on. But Wurtz isn't the cork this time. It's definitely Salo in the 3rd placed Ford. And it is still, hang on a minute, 7 different manufacturers in the top 7. Ayalo down the inside of Webber.
Bit of argy-bargy
making up
there.
for lost ground earlier on in the lap. Now 1 to go. If all works out, it looks like Webber's still going to maintain the lead of the championship. If this happens, Thompson, despite appearances, still second in the championship. Fisichella is gaining on Thompson though, 2 points behind Webber 215 as we see it now, I think. Projected. Thompson 189, Fisichella 187. It's going to be close for the final rounds there. But Salo.
We are heading into the latter part of the season here, so championship is definitely going to be at the forefront of some people's minds for sure.
Salo could Spinnaker this if that's going to make any dent into our projected points there. But once that's happening, there's your train. That could all be set to change. I doubt it's going to change for the lead though. Gasho has made the strategic call of the race so far, just gone and managed to maintain that. I'll say it again, if something ridiculous happens, I doubt it is, but Gasho is still leading. Ingram is very close, we can see it on the dot there, but we can see it too wide through the dipper. Ayalo still had to bail out just on the exit of the dipper this time by rather than the entry, but it's still a freight train as Lammers still tries to get 3rd place in the final podium spot. What a weekend we've had here. Australia has been very welcoming despite us not bringing any, well, you wouldn't want a front engine V8 front wheel drive car. It would not be able to turn with it really.
I mean, the Americans tried that.
Gasho, okay, yes, that's definitely a decent comeback. They've won races this season. That's Gasho's 2nd, by the way, despite a complete drop in performance at the Swiss Circuit Deep Forest. You've held that back, Swinney. Ingram definitely getting the drive of the day, 2nd place. Salo very defensively earning 3rd spot. maybe there'll be an argument against that, perhaps. We'll see what the stewards think. Toyota, not necessarily non-existent, but we've seen better days from them. We'll just have to wait for the news to appear at Brands Hatch for what they do. It's a bit of an odd one. That We know that Butcher's got a Toyota contract. We know that Eday's got some kind of Toyota contract as well, but we're still not hearing news of. Everyone else has got plans for next year, except for the outfit from Japan. We'll just have to wait for Brands Hatch on that. But your summary of this race and the weekend in full, Les Winnie.
Oh, I missed coming here in season 2. I'm so glad it's back on the calendar. And I'm not just saying that because, my driver happened to get his first podium position in the World Super Tours here. But just overall, that was just very, very good racing from everyone. And I think hats off to Marcus Salo for getting the pole position and then driving the defensive drive of his life to maintain that third position there.
So that's 7 manufacturers in the top 7. It's stayed the same, but not necessarily in the right order. We'll see you at Brands Hatch. Good racing, everyone.